Welcome to today's Explainer. Today we're unpacking a story that seems super simple on the surface, but it actually holds some incredible depth about power dynamics, community, and, well, ego. We're diving into the classic fable of the proud elephant and the little ant. So let's just jump right in. Right off the bat, I want to pose this question to you. Can the absolute smallest creature in the jungle save the strongest? It's a pretty compelling mystery, right? And honestly, a brilliant paradox. Usually we expect the big, powerful figures to be the saviors, the strong rescuing the weak. But what happens when that entire script gets flipped? Keep this dynamic in the back of your mind because it's literally the core of the journey we're about to take. Okay, section 1, the giant and the ant. Let's look at this vast contrast. Look at the sheer contrast we're dealing with here. On one side, we have Raju the elephant. The text describes him as the absolute biggest animal in the forest. And oh boy, he knows it. He moves through life with this crazy destructive force. He literally stumps through the jungle, making the ground shake. Other animals just scramble out of his way in total fear. And then, on the flip side, we have Anu the ant. She is tiny, she's humble, and her entire existence is defined by quiet, relentless hard work. It's the ultimate matchup, right? Raw, intimidating power versus quiet, unseen diligence. And the thing is, Raju doesn't just quietly enjoy being huge. He demands that everyone bow down to it. Listen to this quote from the text. "I am the king of this jungle. No one here is even close to my greatness." He literally bellows this out loud. The arrogance is just off the charts. And worse, he totally punches down. Whenever he spots the tiny ants marching in their neat little lines, he laughs loudly. He openly mocks them, asking what good they are, and straight up calling them worthless. Talk about being blinded by your own physical supremacy. But while Raju is out there wasting energy, boasting, and, tearing up the jungle, look at what Anu is actually doing. She wakes up at sunrise every single day. She collects food, she helps her fellow ants, she builds their home. Rain or shine, she just never gives up. She isn't out there working for glory or a round of applause. She's entirely focused on the collective well-being of her community. It's this fast-paced, relentless rhythm of productivity that completely puts the elephant's loud, empty posturing to shame. Moving on to section 2, the muddy trap. Because, well, pride always comes before a fall. So here's where things get interesting. The crucial turning point is this seemingly harmless environment, deep, wet mud right near the riverbank. Raju is just strolling along, confident as ever, when suddenly his massive foot sinks right into a patch of this deep mud. And this is the moment where his absolute greatest asset, his massive size and strength, actually becomes his biggest liability. He pulls and struggles with all his might, but the source notes that the more he fights, the deeper he sinks. Raw, individual muscle cannot solve this problem. In fact, it's actively making the whole situation so much worse. And then, night falls. Just think about that for a second. Raju, the self-proclaimed king of the jungle, the guy who made the ground shake and everyone else scatter in fear, is now completely stuck, vulnerable, and absolutely terrified in the pitch black. The sheer physical isolation of this moment is really striking. All that arrogance has just instantly evaporated, leaving behind nothing but pure, unadulterated panic. Section 3, Small Heroes, Big Rescue. This is where their worlds finally collide. So, Anu the ant spots the elephant in trouble. And get this, she doesn't hold a grudge. She doesn't roll her eyes, remember his nasty insults, and just walk away. No, without a single moment's hesitation, she springs right into action. And this brilliantly illustrates the true power of Anu's way of life. She immediately calls every single ant in her colony. Just think about the sheer scale here. One stuck, terrified elephant versus hundreds of instantly mobilized ants. This isn't just a cute story about a bug helping an elephant. It's a massive testament to the staggering power of an organized collective. Let's actually break down exactly how they pulled off this seemingly impossible task. Because it wasn't magic, guys. It was methodical engineering. Step 1, Anu spots the trouble and calls the colony. Boom, immediate communication and resource rallying. Step 2, they start digging these tiny tunnels all around Raja's stuck foot. Step 3, they loosen the mud from literally every single angle. And step 4, slowly, steadily, his foot comes free. Notice how they didn't try to just yank the giant elephant out with brute force? Nope. They used their tiny size as a massive advantage to deconstruct the problem, literally breaking the mud's grip piece by tiny piece until the giant was completely free. It's an absolute masterclass in teamwork and strategic problem solving. Section 4, the timeless moral. Let's look at the ultimate lesson here. Once he's finally freed, Raju looks at these tiny creatures with wide, grateful eyes, and his whole demeanor has completely shifted. That booming, arrogant voice, totally gone. The text actually notes his voice is soft with shame when he says this. I mocked you and called you worthless, but your teamwork and determination saved me. Talk about a paradigm shift for his character. He finally truly sees that the exact qualities he dismissed as worthless were actually the literal tools required to save his life. And that leads directly to Raju's profound realization. Size does not decide greatness. A united heart and a hardworking spirit do. The story explicitly notes that from that day forward, Raju greeted every single creature in the jungle with kindness and respect. The external giant was humbled, sure, but his internal character actually grew massively through that humility. So, distilling all of this down to its absolute core, here is the clear, undeniable takeaway from this source material. The moral: never underestimate anyone. Unity and perseverance can overcome any obstacle. It's a really great reminder that individual brilliance or even overwhelming resources will eventually hit a wall they just cannot climb alone. When that happens, it is the quiet, consistent, unified effort of a team, no matter how seemingly small or insignificant, that will actually carry the day. Which leaves us with this final thought. Take a second and think about your own life, your workplace, your community, your friend group. Who are you underestimating today? Is there a quiet contributor, a seemingly small resource, or just a steady worker whose value you've been completely overlooking just because they don't make the ground shake when they walk? Keep Raju and Anu in mind, because one day you might just find yourself stuck in the mud, and it will absolutely be that unified heart and hardworking spirit that pulls you out. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and I'll catch you next time.
Like, share, and subscribe for more videos.